Welcome back everyone to my new game using only the Western Star DLC trucks. I'm still a few ranks away from all-wheel drive on the 49X, so I'm avoiding missions like stuck trailer and missing oil tank that recommend an off-road truck. Because it's the only Western Star that can fit both a crane and a sideboard bed, I'm using the 49X to complete the Lost Container contract. This creek has defeated me, however, and I'm unable to get past it despite diff lock and all-terrain tires. So once again, I'll bring in the Scout. I'm not sure what possessed me to try and go around this side of the 49X, but shortly I'm hung up on a rock. No problem, I think. I'll just use the crane to pick up the pickup and plop it down on the other side. But soon, all the wheels on the left-hand side of the truck are in the air. Better to just winch myself back and try and drive around. I start pulling, and it looks like it's going to work, only for the 49X to get stuck in the creek again. I tried for another 10 minutes with the Scout before grabbing the 57X from the garage. The 57X is a beast, and I'm able to drag the 49X across the muddy road to the factory. Okay, I can see the factory. I'll just fire up the 49X. It's spinning but moving. Swing around the 57X and... oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. No problem, I'll just flip it back over. Just flip it back over. Flip it. Flip it. Just flip it. Flip it. Gonna flip it. Okay, gonna flip it. Keep winching. Keep winching. Okay, finally. No drama driving over to the drilling spare parts and craning them into the bed. Once they're on board, I'll grab that empty trailer from the factory entrance and head to the cargo zone. Drilling parts unloaded, putting on a load of bricks. I'm hoping that helps with traction. It may help a bit, but not enough not to need the 57X to serve as a tow rig again. The big highway truck is slow, but I was able to tow the fully loaded 49X with fully loaded trailer across from the factory back to the highway. In general, I like to run a 5-slot trailer pulled by a truck with a crane, just to give myself a little flexibility, and sometimes to carry an extra slot of cargo held down by the crane. I could do that with the 49X, but my goal for this playthrough is to try and do most of it with the 57X and 47X trucks from the Wolfpack DLC. But because it's the only Western Star X-Series truck that has a crane plus bed option at this time, the 49X is what I needed for the drilling parts mission. Now with 2 loads of bricks on board, it's time to head for the sawmill to pick up 2 loads of wood, with a quick stop for diesel along the way. I probably could have waited until I got to the Smithville Dam fuel station to fill up, since I needed to stop here anyway for a load of fuel drums. I like driving the 57X a lot. I'm really looking forward to getting the highway transmission, but not so much that I'm ready to go to Alaska yet. One thing this 57X does not do well is turn in a tight circle. I often have to swing wide to make a turn or commit to making a multi-point turn. This truck has probably close to a 250-inch wheelbase, which doesn't help for tight turning. Overall though, I'd say the big turning circle is worth it for the sheer pulling power of the 57X. I've learned during this playthrough that running loaded is way better for traction than empty, so I brought a load of consumables back to the garage for later use. Earlier I brought this sideboard bed trailer full of planks from the logging area west of the farm back to the garage. Now it's time to finish the Essentials contract and start in on Work for Old Sweat, which will require driving down into the quarry with a load of service spare parts and a concrete slab. But first, a quick stop at the farm to deliver the last load of fuel. Just east of the wooden bridge I fixed in the last episode is a warehouse that has the concrete slab I'll need. Yeah, it just doesn't turn quite as tight as I'd like. Apparently the real-life 57X is available on wheelbases up to 30 feet, 10 meters long, which seems pretty wild. One thing I've been focusing on for this playthrough is not getting in a rush. When I rush, I find I get into trouble way more often. It's probably good that I don't have the highway transmission yet. A little slower over this rock ledge means no damage. I think even the shortest wheelbase trucks need to do a multi-point turn here. No real dramas all the way down to the bottom of the quarry, and that's the cargo delivered. Now I'll try and drag these 2 containers back up to the road with all-terrain tires, rear-wheel drive, and no diff lock. Just getting around this corner is a challenge. There's no real way to get the trailer straight behind the truck, so I'm stuck pulling it across the rocks. And of course, there's nothing to winch to. So I need to bring in reinforcements. I grab the 6x4 47X and drive it to the quarry. Because I don't have a load on, I'll just take this shortcut. Ah, okay. Who rescues the rescuer? I'll just pull it down. Just pull it. Pulling it down. Down. Pull it. Okay, winch it down. Yes. Perfect. No notes. Pull it. Pull it some more. Holy cow, finally. Wait, why is there another 47X backing down into the quarry, you ask? In short, I crashed that other one. Again, onto its roof. So now I have a third truck in the quarry. Third time's the charm, right? I'm a big proponent of hook up the winch, back up and floor it. And it helps me again this time. Though soon I'm no longer making any progress with the 47X. The 57X is still inching its way up, however, and eventually can go no further. I can't move the 47X at all, and left with no alternatives, recover it to the garage. With a clear road ahead, it's time to see if I can get the 57X moving again. Good start, just a little drama, and I'm moving again. Might as well top off the fuel tanks. Back on the quarry road, it's bouncy, but I'm making good progress. Okay, left at the fork. This off-camber uphill road has caught me out in the past. And this time is no different. Luckily, I stopped before I did anything really bad. No, seriously, stop while you're ahead and get some help. Okay, time to give this truck a shot at redemption. I'm getting pretty good at driving into the quarry. On paper, the 47X and 49X should be very similar, but the 47X feels downright rigid, while the 49X feels much more compliant. I don't think I've ever cut through this area before. I'm glad there are no stumps hiding in there. Okay, let's get a winch line on the 57X and start pulling. That was enough to get me in range of hooking up to that lone tree. Look at it shake as the truck winches its way up. I don't know if a real truck could survive this. We're resting on the fuel tanks. Okay, truck is up, but I still need some help to get the trailer up onto flat ground. I'll use the 47X to pull my nose around. It's not quite enough to pull the trailer up. I'll have to hook the trailer up to the tree to get it up onto flat ground. Finally, I have the truck and trailer up on top. It's time to head to the paved road. I got a little impatient here, but luckily it didn't cost me a load of cargo. This road is so off camber, I just couldn't stay on it and slid down onto the rocks. A little winching and I'm moving again. Nope, you're not making this turn without backing up. I had high, some might say naive hopes of making it all the way out of the quarry under my own steam. I got really close enough that I wonder if I could have done it with off-road tires. The 47X redeemed its earlier performance by being able to wedge itself into a spot where I could use it as a winch anchor for the 57X. You guessed it, one more multi-point turn. I drove this road on a previous episode fully loaded but with highway tires. I honestly didn't notice any difference in performance on this trip with all terrains. Obligatory shot of crossing the rickety bridge. Not a multi-point turn, but only because I went into the oncoming lane shoulder. Okay, contract complete and rank 7. One more rank until off-road tires. And since you're still watching, here's how that 57X does on the hill when equipped with off-road tires. I'm further ahead in game than I am in videos, so after finishing cutting this video together, I added OHD 2s to the orange 57X to see how it did, hauling 2 cargo containers up from the quarry. First, I don't know why I took the high road while doing the work for Old Sweat contract. It's way easier and shorter to go out the way I came in. Second, yes, with off-road tires, the 57X can definitely make its way out of the quarry under its own power. I had to do a lot of back and forth at the top to find the best angle to come out on, but was able to do it without having another truck come out and help me. If you haven't already heard, SnowRunner Season 8 arrives October 13th, and if the updates include everything in the public test server, the Wolfpack DLC trucks will be getting all-wheel drive. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.